Good morning. I would like to start with introducing my fellow students, Juliette, Maritt, Torri, Ramona, and myself, Eline. And together we made a presentation about Hotel Casa Amsterdam, and we gained more knowledge about the revenue management. So the process we followed for the integrated project is that we started with analyzing all the data we received. So we looked at all the Excel sheets, all the different information we could gain from there, but we also took a look at OTA Inside. And after that, we filtered all the information. So we started filtering the Excel sheets. We started filtering out the information we didn't need from OTA Inside, and we tried to put all that information together and combine it to, at the end, come up with the forecast.
What is remarkable about the market segment is that most customers come from Europe, especially from Germany and Great Britain. On the other hand, Americans can be found in the business traveler segments. The business segment consists mostly of men, but on average 25% is women. The age varies between 25 and 50. Not only the upper class is attracted by Hilton Casa, but also people from the middle class. When looking at customers' behavior, it can be noticed that business individuals tend to stay the longest, on average between 2 and 8 days. However, travel individuals' length of stay is up to 10 days. The internet segment has the longest lead time. On average, it amounts to 111 days, but the actual numbers vary between 69 and 154 days. With regards to the expenditure, the business segment is in the lead.
Here we have the ADR KPIs for Week 1 and Week 2 from the past 3 years. In Week 1, Monday through Thursday remains constant around 80 to 90 euros, and on Friday and Saturday the peaks are the highest due to the high demand. In 2017, it even reached an ADR of 157 euros and 96 cents on Saturday. This is directly related to the large gay pride festivities that take place on the weekends, such as the Canal Parade. In Week 2, IBC takes place on Monday and Tuesday. However, most business people only stay Monday night, giving it the highest demand and the highest ADR. The rest of the week continues up until Saturday, the busiest day for travelers. Here you can see that the RevPAR KPIs from Week 1 and Week 2 are extremely similar to the ADR because of the high occupancy during these 2 weeks. All the data again is taken from 2015 to 2017, and in Week 1, the highest peak is at 156 euros and 74 cents on Saturday, and in Week 2, the highest RevPAR is at 171 euros and 82 cents on Monday. Here we have some of the percent changes for RevPAR and ADR in both Week 1 and Week 2. To calculate the changes, we took the current year minus the last year and divided it by the last year. As you can see, throughout the years, ADR and RevPAR continue to increase steadily throughout time, with the exception of 2016, with an 8% decrease. They are very similar due to the high occupancy in both weeks. Here we have the forecasted ADR for 2018. In Week 1, Monday starts out at 86 euros and 91 cents and stays relatively steady through Thursday. Friday and Saturday have the highest peaks during this week as a result of the high demand and high volume of visitors that are brought in for the Gay Pride celebrations. Saturday has the highest peak because it is highlighted as the most popular event, the Canal Parade. The forecasted ADR for this day is 141 euros and 15 cents. On Sunday, you see a drop in ADR as everyone returns home at the end of the festivities. In Week 2, the highest ADR will be on Monday at 172 euros and 70 cents as a result of IBC. This year, IBC is Monday and Tuesday of the week, so most business participants will only stay Monday night, resulting in the high demand and high ADR. To find the ADR, we used a weighted rolling average of the 3 years that were most relevant, 2015 to 2017, in order to forecast 2018. As you can see, they look very similar to the previous KPIs that we've discussed, and this is due to the forecasted high occupancy as well. Here we have the RevPAR forecast for 2018. As you can see, it looks similar to the forecasted ADR as a result of the higher occupancy forecast. To find this, we first found the RevPAR of the previous years by dividing the room revenue by the rooms available. Then we used the weighted moving average to create 2018's numbers. In week 1, Saturday's forecasted RevPAR is €140.13, making it the peak of that week. And in week 2, the peak lands on Monday at €170.58.
So, the competitive set of Hotel Casa. On the left side, you can see the competitive set that was given to us during the workshop linked to the STR guidelines. On the right side, you can see the original competitive set, which we gained from OTA Insight. We tried to visualize both of the competitive sets as simple as possible to be able to use both of them to create our own competitive set with the help of the STR guidelines, with the sufficiency, composition, and the isolation. The final competitive set. For the final competitive set, we took in consideration the STR guidelines with the sufficiency, composition, and the isolation, and we looked to the OTA Insight competitive set. For the sufficiency, we looked at the property minimum with a minimum of 4 participating properties and the company minimum, which we choose to put on a minimum of 2 companies not affiliated with the subject property. For the composition, so the percentage checks, we looked at the property. No single property could account for more than 50% of the total participating room supply. When looking at the brand, no single brand could account for more than 50% over the total participating room supply of a competitive set. For the company part, no single company could account for more than 70% of the total participating room supply of a competitive set. Following the isolation rules of STR, a property must take 2 or more properties out their competitive set to change it. In this way, STR can ensure that there's never a single property isolated. So, while following the STR guidelines, we came up with this competitive set for Hotel Casa in 2018.
When looking at the graph of Hotel Casa versus CompSite in July, you can see that Hotel Casa's occupancy has been higher than its competitors for the last 3 years. However, the ADR is higher in July 2015 and 2017, but in July 2016 it is much lower. Last but not least, Hotel Casa makes more revenue per available room, while it goes parallel with the graph of the ARI one. In conclusion, the lower the ADR is, the higher is the occupancy, whereas the lower is the RevPAR. In September, the graphs have the same relationship. What is different, though, is that the ADR is only slightly higher than its competitive set. However, in 2016 and 2017, Hotel Casa offers much cheaper prices. The percentage change is another important KPI. If the final value is larger than the initial value, it means that there is an increase in the variable quantity and that it is a positive number. If the final value is smaller than the initial value, it means that there is a decrease in the variable quantity and that it is a negative number. The percentage change of the occupancy concerning the years 2015 and 2016 amounts to 5%. In contrast, the percentage change of the following years is minus 4% due to the increase in occupancy, followed by a decrease in it. The ADR starts off with a negative percentage as Hotel Casa's rates show a downhill line with regards to year 2015 and 2016. However, the rate becomes higher than its competitors. Therefore, the percentage change ends up being positive, namely 4%. Last but not least, the percentage change of the RevPAR goes uphill too, because it behaves in the same pattern than the ADR. Furthermore, the percentage change in September also behaves similar, as already mentioned.
These are the occupancy rates for Hotel Casa from 2015 to 2017. We got these numbers from OTA Insight to make sure we have the correct numbers. If we would have calculated the numbers, we would have done it as followed. We would have calculated the number of occupied rooms in Excel with the use of the COUNTIF formula. If we want to change these numbers into percentages, we would have calculated the number of available rooms in Excel by the use of the COUNTIF formula and then divide the occupied rooms by the available rooms and multiply that by 100 to get the occupancy percentage. We use this occupancy data to test our forecast methods and to compare our forecast to see if the forecasts and the previous years are on the same level. This graph shows the total pickup, which means the total rooms booked within 154 days before the arrival date in the second week. We calculated these numbers in Excel by the use of the COUNTIF formula and made an overview of it so we could also see the maximum lead time for these days. Maximum lead time means the maximum day people book in advance or the days before arrival from which the bookings start. We used the pickup to calculate our additive forecast method for 2018. This graph shows the cancellation percentages for one segment of Hotel Casa. The reason it is in percentages is because then it's easier to compare to previous years. We calculated the cancellations in Excel by using the COUNTIF formula again and filtering the data on cancelled bookings only. We used the cancellations to calculate our constrained demand for 2018. This is our unconstrained demand forecast for 2018 when using the additive method. The grey line shows the maximum number of rooms we can sell. We calculated the additive method as follows. First, we calculated the business on the books for 2018. Then, we added the pickup, which is an average of 2014 to 2017. Then, we also added the cancellations, which is an average percentage of 2014 to 2017. As you can see, this method is not really accurate because it's all way too much over the maximum or way too much below the maximum. Because we thought our forecast was really off, we did an error measurement on the additive method. These are the errors we measured for the years 2014 to 2017. We did this by testing the additive method on the previous years and only used the information from that year that we also have from 2018. Then we compared the forecast we've made for every year with the actual numbers that we had from OTA Insight. Then we add the differences up and divide it by the total to get the mean absolute percentage error, which is shown in the graph.
This slide shows an overview of the occupancy for the TI segment week 1 for the years 2014 to 2017. We can see that 2016 is a remarkable year because the occupancy drastically decreases for all days, whereas the data for the other years is quite steady. Therefore, we consider 2016 as an outlier. We decided to attach less weight to 2016 because the data is suddenly deviating from the trend line. We attach more weight to 2015 because this year is not deviating and therefore not an outlier. 2017 is the most recent year. We believe the forecast for 2018 will be more or less similar to the data from 2017. We attached the following weights to each year. For 2017 we attached 5, for 2016 we attached 2, and for 2015 we attached 3. And as a result, the most accurate forecast was created. Here we can see the results of the weighted moving average method. We took the average from 2014 to 2017 and attached to each year a weight factor, as explained in the previous slide. The forecast has a lot of similarities with the data from 2017. In this slide we combine two methods, the additive methods and the weighted moving average method. We took both results and divided them by 2, which gave us the combined result. This result is more accurate and the errors are the smallest with this approach. The final unconstrained demand is a visualization of the combined method. We included cancellations and no-shows in our unconstrained demand. We did not have accurate information about people who wanted to book but eventually did not. Otherwise, our unconstrained demand would be even higher. If we have to reject guests because the demand is too high, we would reject the least profitable guests, or we can manage denials with the help of rate fences. We calculated the length of stay by taking the departure date minus the arrival date. We analyzed the length of stay per segment and used this data for the rate fences.
Here we have some of the fences that we've created for Hotel Casa in order to remain profitable and consistent. All cancellations will be refundable only up to 48 hours prior to arrival. No-shows will be charged the first night's rate so that there is no wasted money if the room cannot be filled in time. During special events, a length of stay policy will be enacted, requiring a minimum of 2 nights per booking. And for the segments Internet, TI, and TG, the cancellation policy will remain as normal, 48 hours prior to arrival. For business individuals and business groups, cancellations will only be refundable up to 1 week prior to arrival, taking into account how far ahead of time corporate offices book their business trips. These rate fences will hopefully limit the previous 24% of bookings that have been canceled in the previous years to a smaller number in the future.
Thank you for watching this video. This was our presentation for the revenue management project of our second year in the International Hotel Management School. We hope you enjoyed this video.